We're all looking for that secret to feeling young, right? That extra bit of energy. But what if the key isn't some complex biological secret hidden deep inside us, but something that's happening, well, right in plain sight? Today, we're going to dig into a really cool scientific discovery that pinpoints the creation of this vital youth molecule to a place you would probably never guess.
So let's just jump right in with this question. What if the real secret to vitality, we're talking better energy, sharper memory, the whole 9 yards, doesn't start in a lab or a supplement bottle, but it actually kicks off right there, on your tongue? Sounds crazy, right? Let's find out.
Okay, so before we can really appreciate the breakthrough here, we've got to wrap our heads around the problem. And it all boils down to this one crucial compound in our bodies that, sadly for all of us, takes a nosedive as we get older.
And that molecule, the star of our show today, is nitric oxide. Honestly, you can think of it as the body's master traffic controller. It's this super important signaling molecule that basically tells your blood vessels, hey, relax, open up. This makes sure oxygen and all the good stuff get delivered everywhere they need to go, from your heart all the way up to your brain.
And when I say this stuff declines, I mean it really declines. It's pretty dramatic. The research we're looking at shows that by the time you hit 40, you could have only half the nitric oxide you had in your 20s. And get this, by age 70, that can drop by as much as 75%. That is a massive, massive drop in something so vital.
And look, this isn't just some abstract number on a lab report. The source material links this drop-off directly to so many of those things we just kind of accept as part of getting older. Feeling tired all the time, those senior moments, even having cold hands and feet. It's all connected.
So you're probably thinking, okay, if it's so important, why don't we just, take something to boost it back up? And that's the logical next question, right? Well, it turns out the most common ways people try to do this run into some pretty big roadblocks, at least according to the research we're looking at today.
Okay, so the two big go-to methods you hear about all the time are L-arginine supplements and just eating a ton of nitrate-rich foods like beets. But the source material throws up some major red flags. With L-arginine, a huge chunk of it apparently gets lost during digestion, and to make matters worse, our bodies just get worse at converting it as we age. And as for beets, well, to get a real therapeutic effect, you'd have to eat an insane amount every single day. Just not practical for most of us.
But here's the real kicker. The biggest problem, according to this source, isn't just what you're taking, it's where the whole process gets started. Think about it. It's not enough to have a full tank of gas if the spark plug is in the wrong place. The ignition point is everything.
And that idea, that ignition point, brings us right to the heart of this whole thing. This is the big breakthrough from MIT that basically flips the script on how we thought nitric oxide was made in our bodies.
And here it is. This is the game changer. Scientists at MIT discovered that the first, most crucial step in producing nitric oxide doesn't happen in your gut where you'd expect. Nope, it happens in your mouth. It's a special kind of bacteria living on your tongue that does the heavy lifting, converting nitrates from your food into the next building block. If that first step doesn't happen on the tongue, the whole assembly line just grinds to a halt.
So let's walk through how this oral pathway actually works, step by step. It's pretty cool. First, you eat nitrates, right? Either from food or a supplement. Step 2, those special bacteria on your tongue jump into action and convert those nitrates into something called nitrites. And then finally, step 3, your body takes those nitrites and uses them to create the nitric oxide it needs to keep everything running smoothly. And the results of actually targeting this process in the mouth? They're pretty jaw-dropping. The source we're looking at points to clinical tests where using this oral method jacked up nitric oxide levels by 200%. And get this, it happened in just 20 minutes. And that wasn't just a number on a screen. That huge spike in nitric oxide had a real, measurable effect. The same tests reportedly showed a 34% increase in blood flow. So you can see that direct connection. More nitric oxide, better circulation. Boom.
But wait, there's more. The research doesn't just stop with this oral nitrate conversion. It also points to a whole team of other key nutrients that can support and basically supercharge this entire nitric oxide system.
Yeah, you can see it's really a team effort. You've got beetroot, which provides the raw fuel, the nitrates. Then hawthorn berry comes in to help the body actually absorb and use the nitric oxide that's created. L-citrulline is there because it's a much more efficient building block than L-arginine, especially after 45. And then you have your support crew, vitamin C and B12 and magnesium, all playing these vital roles in protecting the final molecule and helping your blood vessels do their job.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, right?
We've talked about the problem of declining levels, the issues with old methods, and this incredible breakthrough discovery. So what's the big takeaway? What's the one thing you really need to remember from all this?
Here it is, the main point, plain and simple. A process that is absolutely critical for your heart, your brain, your energy levels. It all starts on your tongue. It means that the health of the bacteria in your mouth, your oral microbiome, is basically the gatekeeper for your whole body's circulation and vitality. How wild is that?
And that just leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. If the secret to our circulation starts in our mouth, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other amazing vital health processes are kicking off in the most unexpected places in our bodies, just waiting for us to find them?